Good morning, everyone. Welcome back for Virtual Deer, our second day, but I think technically our fourth link because there were a couple of technical difficulties yesterday, a few more this morning, but here we are. Yesterday, you'll recall that Star returned to school after spring break, and as we know, she unfortunately had to witness her own best friend killed at the hands of a police officer. And when she went back to school, she is trying to remain, I guess I was going to say anonymous, but it's not really anonymous. She just doesn't want people to know that she was at the crime itself. So she's trying to lay low, and all of her friends are bragging about their spring break happenings. So hopefully you're doing okay, and we'll get right back into it. As we know, we were right here on page 57 here on the screen, but that is page 63 in your book for those of you with your books following along at home. Remember, there's about a 5 to 6 page difference between the two volumes. So The Fresh Prince isn't just my show, it's our show. Sophomore year, he followed me on Tumblr, and I followed him back. We knew of each other from school, but we didn't know each other. One Saturday, I reblogged a bunch of Fresh Prince gifs and clips. He liked and reblogged every single one. That Monday morning in the cafeteria, he paid for my Pop-Tarts and grape juice and said the first Aunt Viv was the best Aunt Viv. It was the beginning of us. So there's a quick recap of where we left off. Chris gets the Fresh Prince, which helps him get me. We once talked about how cool it was that Will remained himself in his new world. I slipped up and said, I wish I could be like that at school. Chris said, why can't you, Fresh Princess? Ever since I don't have to decide which star I have to be with him, he likes both. Well, the parts I've shown him anyway. Some things I can't reveal, like Natasha. Once you've seen how broken someone is, it's like seeing them naked. You can't look at them the same way anymore. So pause there for a second. We all know that sometimes we tell little white lies or keep little secrets. But sometimes it's hard to reflect on keeping a secret from a loved one, someone we care from. And that's what Star's going through right now. She's afraid to confide in her own boyfriend. I like the way he looks at me now, as if I'm one of the best things in his life. He's one of the best things in mine, too. I can't lie. We get the why is he dating her stare that usually comes from rich white girls. Sometimes I wonder the same thing. Chris acts like those looks don't exist. When he does stuff like this, rapping and beatboxing in the middle of a busy hall just to make me smile, I forget about those looks too. So it's like they're in their own little world. He starts the second verse, swaying his shoulders and looking at me. The worst part, his silly butt knows it's working. In West Philadelphia, born and raised. Come on, babe, join in. He grabs my hands. 115 follows Khalil's hands with a flashlight. He orders Khalil to get out with his hands up. He barks at me to put my hands on the dashboard. I kneel beside my dead friend in the middle of the street with my hands raised. A cop as white as Chris points a gun at me. As white as Chris. Remember, Chris is her boyfriend. I flinch and snatch away. Chris frowns. Star, you okay? Khalil opens the door. You okay, Star? Pow. There's blood. Too much blood. The second bell rings, jolting me back to normal Williamson, where I'm not normal Star. Chris leans down his face in front of mine. My tears blur him. Star? It's a few tears, yeah, but I feel exposed. I turn to glass, and Chris grabs my arm. I yank away and whirl on him. His hands go up in surrender. Sorry, I wipe my eyes and walk into the classroom. Chris is right behind me. Haley and Maya shoot him the dirtiest looks. I lower myself into the desk in front of Haley. She squeezes my shoulder. That jackwad. Remember, Haley is her friend who's defending her after Chris was a little forward and had a condom when they were last fooling around together. So you got to remember, Haley's upset with Chris. And meanwhile, Star is struggling because she's still having flashbacks of everything with Khalil. Nobody mentioned at school today. I hate to admit it because it's like throwing him the middle finger, but I'm relieved. Since basketball season is over, I leave when everybody else does, probably for the first time in my life. I wish it wasn't the end of the day. I'm that much closer to talking to the cops. Haley and I trek across the parking lot arm in arm. Maya has a driver to pick her up. Haley has her own car, and I have a brother with a car. The two of us always end up walking out together. Are you absolutely sure you don't want me to kick Chris's butt? Haley asks. I told her and Maya about Condomgate, and as far as they're concerned, Chris is eternally banished to butthole land. Yes, I say for the 100th time, you're violent, Hales. When it comes to my friends, possibly, seriously though, why would he even? God, boys and their sex drive. I snort. Is that why you and Luke haven't gotten together? She lightly elbows me. Shut up. I laugh. Why won't you admit you like him? What makes you think I like him? Really, Haley? Whatever, Star. This isn't about me. This is about you and your sex-driven boyfriend. He's not sex-driven, I say. Then what do you call it? He was horny at the moment. Same thing. I try to keep a straight face, and she does too, but soon we're cracking up. God, it feels good to be normal, Star and Haley. It has me wondering if I imagined a change. Like, did I will it to happen? We part at the hallway point to Haley's car and Seven's. The butt-kicking offer is still on the table, she calls to me. Bye, Haley. I walk off, rubbing my arms. Spring has decided to go through an identity crisis and get chilly on me. A few feet away, Seven keeps a hand on his car as he talks to his girlfriend, Layla. Him and that damn Mustang. He touches it more than he touches Layla. She obviously doesn't care. She plays with the dreadlock near his face that isn't pulled into his ponytail. Eye roll worthy. Some girls do too much. Can't she play with them? All them curls on her own head? Honestly, though, I don't have a problem with Layla. She's a geek, like Seven, smart enough for Harvard, but Howard bound, and real sweet. She's one of the 4 black girls in the senior class, and if Seven just wants to date black girls, he picked a great one. I walk up to them and go, ahem. Seven keeps his eyes on Layla. Go sign Sakani out. Can't, I lie. Mama didn't put me on the list. Yeah, she did. Go. I fold my arms. I'm not walking halfway across campus to get him and halfway back. We can get him when we're leaving. He side-eyes me, but I'm too tired for all that, and it's cold. Seven kisses Layla and goes around to the driver's side, acting like that's a long walk, he mumbles. Acting like we can't get him when we're leaving, I say, and hop in. He starts the car. This nice mix Chris made of Kanye and my other future husband, J. Cole, plays from Seven's iPod dock. He maneuvers through the parking lot traffic to Sakani's school. Seven signs him out of his after-school program, and we leave. I'm hungry, Sakani whines, not even 5 minutes out of the parking lot. Didn't they give you a snack in after school? Seven asks. So, I'm still hungry, greedy butt, Seven says. Sakani kicks the back of his seat. Seven laughs. Okay. Ma asked me to bring some food to the clinic anyway. I'll get you something too. He looks at Sakani in the rearview mirror. Is that cool? Seven freezes. He turns Chris's mix off and slows down. What'd you turn the music off for? Sakani asks. Shut up, Seven hisses. We stop at a red light. A Riverton Hills patrol car pulls up beside us. So a police officer. We know how Star must feel being near police at the moment. Seven straightens up and stares ahead, barely blinking and gripping the steering wheel. His eyes move a little like he wants to look at the cop car. He swallows hard. Come on, light, he prays. Come on. I stare ahead and pray for the light to change too. It finally turns green and Seven lets the patrol car go first. His shoulders don't relax until we get to the freeway. Mine either. We stop at this Chinese restaurant Mama loves and get food for all of us. She wants me to eat before I talk to the detectives. In Garden Heights, kids play in the streets. Sakani presses his face against my window and watches them. He won't play with them, though last time he played with some neighborhood kids, they called him White Boy because he goes to Williamson. So even though he's African American, because of the school he goes to, his friends at home refer to him as White Boy. Black Jesus greets us from a mural on the side of the clinic. He has locks like Seven. His arms stretch the width of the wall, and there are puffy white clouds behind him. Big letters above him remind us that Jesus loves you. Seven passes Black Jesus and goes into the parking lot behind the clinic. He punches in a code to open the gate and parks next to Mama's Camry. I get the tray of sodas, Seven gets the food, and Sakani doesn't take anything because he never takes anything. He's a little kid, right? Doesn't always help. I hit the buzzer for the back door and wave up at the camera. The door opens into a sterile-smelling hall with bright white walls and white tile floors that reflect us. So it's like an institution-like feeling. The hall takes us to the waiting room. A handful of people watch the news of the old box TV in the ceiling or read magazines that have been there since I was little. And remember where she lives? Or, pardon me, where she's working? Yes, she's working in a hospital setting. When the shaggy haired man sees that we have food, he straightens up and sniffs hard as if it's for him. "What y'all bringing up in here?" Miss Felicia asks at the front desk, stretching her neck to see. Mama comes from the other hallway in her plain yellow scrubs, following a teary-eyed boy and his mom. The boy sucks on a lollipop, a reward for surviving a shot, a needle shot. "There goes my baby, or there go my babies," Mama says when she sees us. "And they got me food, too. Come on, let's go in the back." "Save me some," Miss Felicia calls after us. Mama tells her to hush. We set the food out on the break room table. Mama gets some paper plates and plastic utensils that she keeps in a cabinet for days like this. And we say grace and dig in. We're going to pause there for right now. As you know, I can only record in 15-minute steps, and I've got a minute left. So I'm going to go ahead and pause, and then I'll pick up right where we left off. And those links will be available for you today by 11 a.m. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. Take care.